Ranbir Kapoor sir. How are you? Nalla irkingla?
Very good. Namaste. Good afternoon. Vanakkam. It's really a pleasure to be back in Chennai. Um, I firstly want to congratulate you guys for an amazing year again in the Indian film industry. I think 3 of my favorite films made in India in the last 1.5 years has been from the Tamil film industry, that being Jailer, Leo, and Vikram. So congratulations on that. Like Sir had mentioned that Sandeep and the entire team has worked really hard in the dubbing of this film to make it seem like a film that the Tamil speaking audience will really enjoy. तो वो remake की नौबत नहीं होगी, that you don't have to make a remake of this film. See this film as an original, and very excited to be here and to present our film Animal, releasing on 1st of December.
Okay, and you have your own style of working, as Rush was telling in another promotional video that you ask the actor also whether it's okay to rehearse or you directly act. So in that way, this movie is so intense. So do you have that switch on and off button? Like, because do you carry the emotional thing which you've acted to home, or you easily switch off? How was that?
No, you have to switch off. That's your skill as an actor, being a professional. If you ask
Can
this,
you face the camera,
if
sir?
you ask this question to Bobby sir, he's still playing the antagonist, the villain. If he went home like that, his family would throw him out. So you have to really know where to draw the line. But like I've been mentioning it in a lot of my interviews now, is that when I was starting this film, I became a father at the same time. So it was quite strange to go and play this part and then go home to my beautiful daughter. But I could really differentiate between both the experiences between real life and real life.
Yeah, this is about, you said earlier, I've not done a complex role like this earlier. And what was the preparation you did for this role?
I think, ma'am, what I usually do, every actor has their own process. My process has always been that I spend a lot of time with the director, and thankfully in this case, the director is also the writer. So I think first and foremost, it's very important that I understand the meaning of what he's writing. What is his idea behind the scene, behind the story, behind these characters. So once you start understanding that, it's really like a love story between you and your director. You have to fall in love with each other so you can really trust each other and you can really do something magical. Yes, it's the most complex character, and not just for me. I think for every actor who's been on part of this journey, every character is so complex because Sandeep has worked so hard on writing the characters in such a real way. Why you like films like his films like Arjun Reddy and Kabir Singh is because he shows you something which is very real, but he does it in a very cinematic, filmy way. So everybody can relate to it. The youth can especially relate to certain characters and their dynamics. So yeah, it's a complex film. Every character is very complex, and I think that's what the audiences really enjoy, is to see every character go through a certain graph, a beginning, middle, and end, and that will be very exciting for the viewers.
That we grew up watching. One, now how did you adjust to that? And secondly, there's a easy gamble going for mom-son relationships. Mere Paas Mahe is very famous. Even today, we just get up hearing that dialogue. And what is the gamble in going for this dad-son relationship?
I think to answer your first question, I think the conviction came from the director. I think Sandeep Reddy Vanga is somebody who is very original. He's one of the most original filmmakers I've met. Because whatever he was narrating to me, us on set, we never had any reference to it. Usually, when you're making a movie, somebody gives you a scene, okay, this is the emotion. You think, acha, in this film, this had happened. You think of a South Indian film, a Hindi film, a Hollywood film. But in this film, whatever he was narrating, everything seemed so original that we all were very inspired to, do something very original. So all the credit goes to the director, Sandeep. And to answer your second question, yes, you are right. Especially in Hindi movies, we really tap into the mother-son relationship a lot. Even if we've seen films like, say, a KGF, which has the mother-son emotion. But I think this father-son emotion was something which inspired Sandeep to write this story. He told me, the first time I met him, I asked him, I said, why did you think of the story and how did you think of the story? He's saying, I thought of the story starting with only one thin line, is that where would the obsession a son has for his father, where would it drive him to? What would it drive him to? To what kind of extremes? What would he do to protect his loved ones? Where would he go in his mind, in his actions? And I think that was a very interesting take on a father-son relationship, the obsession between father and son. So that was very exciting to be a part of.
Ranbir, congrats to Animal. Say few words about our Tamil audience.
Well, the films and the culture that the Tamil audiences has been having over the years, we've seen videos of how you all celebrate cinema, how you all celebrate music, how you all celebrate your heroes and your heroines and everything. And I think that's very inspiring to watch, as an actor, somebody who aspires for that. When you see Rajni sir's entry, or when you see Telepathy Vijay sirs, or all the great stars, Kamal Hassan sir, Ajit sir, you see that their audience and their fans, they support them so much, they love them so much, they love the culture of cinema and movies so much, and I think that's very inspiring. And I think everywhere in the world, I think the Tamil root, the audience is a very strong base out here, and that's very nice. Hi Shalini.
Shalini here, and welcome back to Chennai.
Thank you.
Actually, parents versus kid, there will be a natural love actually, so we don't need to any efforts or that. So in this movie, the obsessed love on father, did you have any doubts on that in the script in the initial stage?
No doubt at all. I think most of, especially the Indian, the Indian males, they always have some form of conflict with their father. There is always this distance, because there's so much of respect, but there is also fear. So I think the father-son emotion, especially in India, is something which is very sensitive, and it's not tapped into too much. So I think this film will really tap into that very interestingly. So I'm really looking forward to that.
So another question, actually obsessed love on father, is that bad or good? What is going to project in this movie?
I think any kind of obsession is not healthy. Sometimes there are some deep-rooted childhood scars that you have which remain. That's why you have the obsession. Everybody loves their parents. Nobody does not love their parents. But I think obsession is something which can get very unhealthy. In this film, of course, he's an obsessive lover of his father. He's somebody who is obsessed. But that also made a very interesting movie out of him. That character became interesting because of that obsession. So that's okay for the movies. I'm not sure if that's okay for real life. That's too much obsession for real life.
Thank you for your answer.
Ranbirji, this is Karthik, Vera Level Cinema.
Hello, Karthik sir.
One question.
Ji.
அதாவது அப்பா பையன் சென்டிமெண்ட், அதாவது ஃபாதர் சன் சென்டிமெண்ட். ஆனால் நேம் டைட்டில் வந்து அனிமல். இது எந்த வகையான அனிமல், ஏன் அனிமல்ன்ற பேர்? மேடம் ப்ளீஸ் டிரான்ஸ்லேட். What kind of one animal?
It's a dad-son sentiment, but why animal?
Because I think you're seeing this film through the perspective of this character, which is the character I play, and other characters which I can't speak about. You should, once you see the film, you'll understand. But I think the reason why Sandeep Reddy Vanga called this film Animal is that animals behave out of instinct. They don't behave out of thought. So this character that I'm playing, he behaves out of instinct to protect his family. He's not thinking, he's behaving out of instinct, he's impulsive. I think that's where the title Animal came, and once you see the film, you'll realize, this film suits this title,
So since you're sharing the screen with the other big stars, so they will also get the space. So how do you see that?
I think, sir, so far I've not done any mass movie. I've never got any mass moments. And it's usually when you work with actors like Mr. Bobby Deol, Mr. Anil Kapoor, who are so accomplished in making movies of this genre, you get their fans to come and watch you also because they're coming to watch them. So sometimes you have to piggyback on actors and big stars so that you can also grow your audience. But yes, it's I think one of the first for me. So I hope that the audience accepts me.
Hi, welcome to Chennai.
Thank you.
During the course of the speech, the technicians from the south said that they've canned a wonderful action sequence for the film, and we're kind of curious. It kind of looks impressive as well. And during the course of the speech, they said that the gun that they've fashioned is never been fashioned before. It's almost 500 kgs. We see you operating the weapon in the screen. I think you would have required some amount of effort to kind of operate it, because ideally a weapon like a machine gun is difficult to handle, and something that heavy would have required quite a bit of effort. Could you tell us a little more about how you made the effort?
Well, I remember the first time Suresh Anna showed us the bike and the gun, which was this what would you call it? A gun bike, sir? A bike gun? A war machine. War machine. We were like shocked. How did he imagine this? It was amazing, and he did it from scratch. It's such an original piece. It was a great idea that Sandeep and Suresh Anna had, and I think when you're acting for movies, you're not really shooting the gun. So you have to pretend and you have to have the imagination that if you're operating a machine which is so heavy and large, what would that do to your body? You know, what would that do to your ears? Because you're shooting for hours. So that I really had to imagine that, because of course the bullets are coming in CG. It's not in real. That's the magic of the movies. But I think just the idea was so fascinating. The creation was so amazing that I just feel lucky, you know, that I have an image like that of shooting a gun like that. I think that was Sandeep's idea. When he told me this, I said, sir, please don't. I don't consider myself as a superstar, and in our Hindi cinema, we don't do this. He's like, no, I look at you like this, so I'm going to present you like this. So it was his idea. I also must tell you that our set was such a multicultural set, because we had Hindi speaking actors, Punjabi speaking actors, Malayalam, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu. I think we had the entire language of everybody in India speaking on our set. And especially Supreme sir, because he speaks very less English and Hindi, but we had we just could understand each other, because there was so much of love and so much of inspiration and so much of understanding that, you know, it was really heartwarming to see a set like that which had so many languages and cultures.
Hi, sir.
Thank
Ranbir sir.
you. I think we are done
You
with
had
the
a question?
questions.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Who had?
Yes, sir.
आपके पीछे that sir is saying के over.
Sir, this is Surya from JR TV. Sir, after the COVID, we will create more pan-Indian movies. Do you think pan-Indian movies is our future? There is no like Bollywood or Kollywood, no separation. It will create only movie. It called only Indian movie like that.
Of course, I think it's such a healthy trend that is starting, because this is Indian cinema. We all are, you know, people from India, and we are making cinema for each other. Of course, we have so many different languages, so many different cultures, but a good story will break every language barrier. We've seen that with Bahubali, we've seen that with KGF, we've seen that with Robot. You know, we've seen that with so many films, and say even a film like Jawan, which released right now, which did so well in the South market. So I think a good story will appeal to a larger audience. We as filmmakers, as actors, we just have to choose the right subjects. And we hope that, you know, we are all part of entertainment. We want to entertain as many people as possible. So with Animal, I hope that we are releasing it in, you know, so many languages. The director and the team have really worked hard in presenting it in a very authentic way in those languages. And I hope that it reaches to as many audiences as possible. Thank you.
செய்திகளை உடனுக்குடன் தெரிந்து கொள்ள உடனே சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க.